welcome. If you are new here, thanks for popping in. If you find this content helpful, please give a like and subscribe. Hit the notification bell if you want to be notified of the next video release. This is the finale, the last part of how to become a front-end web developer. And I'm going to be keeping this video short because there's so much information here that one video couldn't possibly cover it all. Instead, I'm going to focus on pointing you guys to the resources that you need and clarifying a few confusing points on JavaScript frameworks. So as you can see, I have my browser open. I went to developer.mozilla.org, and once there you can look for guides, tools and testing, understanding client-side JavaScript frameworks. Now, there seems to be some confusion even when doing Google searches as to frameworks. You will find some people confusing frameworks with component libraries. So I want to show you guys quickly some things that might come up when looking for frameworks. So when looking for frameworks, some things that come up are component libraries. A component library differs from a framework in that a component library is simply drag and drop code that you can use that looks a certain way to quickly create a UI in JavaScript. Now this has no other, or very few have other features with them. It's just the code to make a component that does a particular thing and looks a particular way. Okay, now these are the most popular ones. Bootstrap is super popular. Material Design is really popular. Material UI also, I would say, is still very, very popular. It's not listed here. Prime Faces and Tailwind CSS and Headless UI and Ant Design. Now this is not an exhaustive list, and people will look at this list and be like, well, that's, none of the good ones are on there. But just like with frameworks, there's so many to choose from, and they're all pretty much do the same thing, but they vary slightly. But I just wanted to point out that a framework is different than a library. So a library is essentially prefabricated pieces. If you're thinking about this in terms of a house, a framework would be the frame that a builder would come add things onto, like bedrooms and bathrooms, whereas a component library would be a pre-designed bedroom or bathroom that you would just plop on your house. So that's the difference between a framework and a library. Now, with that out of the way, let's get back to the Mozilla docs. And I just wanted to walk through this briefly with you guys and kind of point out like what they're talking about here. So a framework, as I was talking about with the house model, is it's a frame for doing further construction. Okay, now this guide here, if you scroll down on the left hand side, they have a under tools and testings, and under this intro, they've got like the big four here. They've got React, Ember, or big five, React, Ember, Vue, Svelte, and Angular. Their Angular also has a component library, so don't confuse Angular material with Angular the framework. They're two separate things. So a framework is a foundation essentially for building your web page, your single page application, and they vary slightly. And there's so much involved with all these that the video would be simply too long for anyone to sit through. So I want to focus on giving you guys the tools, pointing you in the right directions, and so that's what this video is focusing on. These go into, you can go in here and look at each one. Getting started with React, they go into the use cases of why you would use each one, and a short tutorial. There are differences, such as, React, you need to understand more tools to use with it, whereas some of the other ones you don't. So there's that, slight differences like that between them. And then the other thing I wanted to point out to you guys is there are also build tools. And what a build tool is it kind of pairs some of this stuff together in a way that allows you to further make use of automation when developing. And one that I want to point out is Vite, and it's spelled V-I-T-E, but it's actually pronounced Vite. And this would be the equivalent of, so React is one of the most popular frameworks. I use it extensively at work, and I like it. It does have its drawbacks, and one of them is that you have to install other tools to use it, and you need to be familiar with those other tools, and so it creates additional learning that you have to do. So one reason why I'm recommending this to you guys is that this kind of takes the place of Create React App, and Create React App was React's kind of way to fill in the gaps that React was missing. And so they created this, it's not a framework, it's a build tool, right? And it fills in all of the things that React itself was missing. Well, Vite is like the next generation, as it says here, and they really do mean that. So Vite is faster, it's more lightweight, and I'll let the website kind of speak for itself as to why you should use it. I will simply tell you that it's faster than most. It allows you to use whatever language you'd like, as far as you can use this to set up a React application, both in JavaScript and TypeScript. You can use this to set up many other frameworks. And so for that reason, it's super helpful, because it's kind of like getting you started with all of them, rather than focusing on, you know, just React applications or just Angular applications. This is a way to get your development environment up and running very quickly, and once it's up and running, the features that this offers is really nice. You guys are going to like this. So if you've used a different one, try Vite out, and let me know what you think about it. So guys, I'm going to end the video there today. I do want to keep this short because, like I said, there's just so much I could talk about, but I don't want to overwhelm anybody. But the last thing that you need to understand if you are going to become a front-end web developer is frameworks. And the best place to get a really good handle on some of the things that the most popular frameworks do, and some of their differences, and why you would choose one over the other, is explained very clearly here on the developer.mozilla.org website, underneath Guides, Tools and Testing, and then Understanding Client-Side JavaScript Frameworks. I hope that you guys find this video helpful and it points you in the right direction. Feel free to pop into my website, consultingninja.tech. I have free resources such as this and others, all compiled for you guys. And I also am available directly. You can message me from my website. I am here to help, or comment below. With that, like, subscribe, and I will see you again soon.